Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold and Beautiful 24. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in.
The Bold and the Beautiful has never shied away from shocking twists and gut-punch revelations, but nothing could have prepared fans for the leaked Thursday, October 2nd episode update. An episode that pulls the rug out from under nearly every major character in Los Angeles, sending shockwaves through the Forrester and Logan families, and sparking the kind of ripple effect that will shape the rest of the year in ways nobody could have predicted, because this time the spotlight isn't on Ridge's constant waffling between Brooke and Taylor, or on Sheila Carter's dangerous games, or even on Bill Spencer's ruthless business tactics, but instead on a woman who has spent the better part of her life trying to balance love, motherhood, and morality while constantly being pushed into the storm. Hope Logan. And in this leaked update, Hope is revealed to be pregnant, a development that throws everything into absolute chaos, because while pregnancy on a soap might not be rare, this one isn't just any pregnancy. It's a game-changing, earth-shattering storyline that leaves fans asking the one question nobody thought would ever need to be asked again. Who is the father? The episode unfolds with the usual glossy perfection of Forrester Creations' fashion world. But beneath the surface there's tension, whispered conversations, and unspoken dread, as Hope sits alone in her office, staring at a small piece of paper folded in her hands, her breathing unsteady, her mind racing back over every decision, every late-night conversation, every stolen moment that brought her here. And when the camera finally pans down to reveal what's written across that paper, her pregnancy test results, fans are jolted into silence, because it's not just positive, it's life-altering, not only for Hope herself but for the men who have shaped her romantic world, Liam Spencer and Thomas Forrester, both of whom are still circling her orbit in complicated, messy ways. The leaked Thursday update shows Hope whispering to herself, "This changes everything," as her eyes well with tears, not tears of joy but of panic, because she knows there's no easy way forward, no way to make this pregnancy a simple, happy event. And that's where the drama deepens, because as she sits there trying to process, Brooke Logan barges into the office, radiant and worried all at once, catching Hope off guard with that motherly intuition that has always made Brooke a force in her children's lives, and Brooke immediately senses something is wrong, pressing Hope until finally Hope blurts out through a choked whisper that she's pregnant, and Brooke's eyes widen in disbelief, torn between maternal joy and gut-wrenching concern, because she knows full well that Liam and Hope's relationship has been strained almost to the breaking point, and Thomas, despite his apparent growth, has never been fully out of Hope's life, meaning the potential for scandal is right there, simmering under the surface. The update doesn't waste time before dragging Liam into the mess. He's seen later at Il Giardino with Wyatt, venting his frustrations about how nothing feels stable with Hope anymore, how he can't tell if she truly wants him, or if she's still secretly drawn to Thomas, and Wyatt, ever the more level-headed brother, warns him that his waffling between Steffi and Hope over the years has created this uncertainty, that maybe Hope is simply protecting herself from further heartbreak, but Liam insists that he's changed, that he's been trying to prove his commitment, and that he can't lose Hope again, only to receive a text message from Hope asking to meet urgently. Fans watching this leaked scene would feel their hearts in their throats, because the moment Liam walks into Hope's office and sees her sitting pale and trembling, clutching that paper, everything changes, and when she tells him point blank that she's pregnant, Liam freezes, his face falling not into joy but confusion, dread, and the kind of stunned silence that reveals his deepest fear. What if the child isn't his? Hope, her voice trembling, doesn't immediately offer reassurance, and that silence is all Liam needs to begin spiraling, pressing her with desperate questions, his words sharp and filled with both accusation and fear. "Is it mine, Hope? Just tell me, is it mine?" And while Hope insists she doesn't want to have this conversation like this, Liam's reaction only makes her crumble further, because she knows he has reason to doubt. She knows Thomas's shadow still hangs over her, and she knows that her pregnancy is not going to be the simple, joyous event that so many women dream of, but rather the spark that reignites every old wound, every old betrayal, and every unresolved triangle in this complicated web of families. The leaked episode doesn't stop at Liam's reaction. It pivots to Thomas, who's at the design studio sketching late into the evening when he overhears Steffi on the phone with Finn, discussing how worried she is about Liam and Hope, and how she's certain something big is about to blow up between them. And Thomas, ever attuned to Hope's presence in his life, feels that gnawing pull that something is wrong, which sets the stage for a confrontation later in the episode when Thomas inevitably learns about the pregnancy and realizes there's a chance he could be the father. A realization that both thrills and terrifies him, because while he's dreamed of having a future with Hope, he knows the circumstances are messy, scandalous, and bound to reignite every feud between the Forresters and Logans. The leaked script teases that the fallout extends beyond just the triangle. Brooke confronts Ridge, warning him that if Thomas is involved in this pregnancy, it will destroy Hope's life, while Ridge pushes back, reminding Brooke that Thomas has changed and deserves the chance to be a father again if it comes to that, igniting yet another round of the eternal Brooke versus Ridge conflict that bleeds into both business and family life. Meanwhile, Steffi, already dealing with her own marital tensions with Finn and her distrust of Hope, sees the pregnancy as proof that Hope has once again dragged Liam and Thomas into chaos, and she's not shy about telling her brother that he needs to step back before he ruins his progress, though Thomas, with that familiar determined glint in his eye, insists that if the baby is his, he won't walk away this time, setting up a storm that threatens to tear apart the fragile peace in both families. Even Bill Spencer is pulled into the drama when Liam, lost and angry, vents to his father about the pregnancy and his fears, sparking Bill's protective instincts and pushing him to declare war on anyone, even Thomas, who threatens his son's happiness. All of this builds toward a cliffhanger ending where Hope, after enduring confrontations with both Liam and Thomas in the same day, collapses into her mother's arms sobbing, whispering the words that will define this entire storyline. "I don't even know how to tell them the truth." That one line leaves fans speculating endlessly. What truth is she hiding? Is the father already confirmed, and she's keeping it secret? Did something happen that even Brooke doesn't know about? Or is Hope simply overwhelmed, caught between two men and a pregnancy that will force her to make choices she's not ready for? Either way, this leaked October 2nd episode is not just a pregnancy storyline. It's a powder keg of emotions, betrayals, family feuds, and explosive fallout. The kind of storyline that keeps fans glued to their screens, debating every possibility, and bracing themselves for the storm that's about to consume Hope, Liam, Thomas, and everyone connected to them in the world of the bold and the beautiful. Hope's pregnancy isn't just a storyline. It's the kind of twist that drags every buried insecurity, every rivalry, and every unspoken truth back into the light. And as the Thursday, October 2nd episode continues, the leaked script reveals that Hope spends much of the night replaying the choices that led her here, staring at old photographs of Liam with their daughter Beth, remembering the promise of a family united, then shifting to flashes of Thomas, the intensity in his eyes during late night design sessions, the way he once swore he had changed, the temptation she never wanted to admit even to herself. And these flashbacks aren't just memories, they're reminders of why the truth of her pregnancy terrifies her. Because no matter what, she's bound to hurt someone she loves, bound to reignite wars she thought had been settled. Brooke, refusing to let her daughter spiral alone, sits with her through the night, offering comfort but also a mother's pointed advice, urging Hope to lean on Liam, to fight for her marriage, to not give Thomas another opening to worm his way into her life. But Hope's silence, the way her eyes drift and her lips tremble, tells Brooke that the situation is not nearly as simple as she wants it to be, and Brooke's fear grows, because she knows her daughter's heart is divided. Meanwhile, Liam's mind races as he drives through the dark streets of Los Angeles, barely able to keep his focus on the road, his hands gripping the wheel, his chest tight, because the words "I'm pregnant" echo in his ears like a bell he can't unring. And though part of him wants desperately to believe this is a blessing, the joy of new life, another chance to solidify his family, another bond with Hope, the nagging doubt eats away at him. The memories of walking in on Hope and Thomas during moments of closeness, the whispers he's overheard from Steffi about Thomas's obsession, and the way Hope herself never fully closed that chapter. And when Liam finally arrives home, he paces relentlessly, replaying every interaction, until Wyatt arrives unannounced, having been texted by Liam in a moment of panic, And Liam spills everything, pacing like a caged animal, confessing not only Hope's pregnancy but his doubts, his fear that the baby isn't his, and Wyatt, caught between sympathy and practicality, warns Liam that if he doesn't approach this carefully, he could lose Hope entirely, that pushing too hard, demanding answers she can't yet give, will only drive her into Thomas's arms. Words that only make Liam's chest tighten further, because the idea of losing Hope to Thomas is his worst nightmare. Elsewhere, Thomas himself is unaware of the storm brewing, at least until he walks into Forrester the next morning and feels the shift in energy, whispered voices, nervous glances. And though no one tells him outright, his instincts flare, and when he corners Brooke, demanding to know what's going on, she lashes out, warning him to stay away from Hope, her words dripping with venom as she says, "Haven't you ruined her life enough?" Which only confirms for Thomas that something monumental is happening, something that involves Hope, and his suspicions begin to spiral until finally, later in the episode, he confronts Hope directly, his voice soft but his eyes burning with intensity as he asks her, "Is it true? Are you pregnant?" And the way Hope flinches is all the answer he needs, leaving him momentarily breathless, because in that instant his entire world shifts. The possibility of fatherhood again, the chance to build the life with Hope he's always dreamed of. And though he tries to temper his excitement, his eagerness spills through as he tells her he'll stand by her no matter what, that if the baby is his, he won't make the same mistakes he made with Douglas, he'll be better, stronger, and more present. Words that both comfort and terrify Hope, because she sees in his eyes the old intensity, the unshakable fixation. And she knows that if Thomas is the father, Brooke will never accept it, Liam will never forgive it, and the entire Forrester-Logan dynamic will implode. The leaked script doesn't stop there, weaving in Steffi's sharp presence as she confronts Hope at Forrester. Her voice laced with disdain as she accuses Hope of dragging her brother into chaos once again, of playing with Liam's heart, of being selfish and reckless. And though Hope tries to defend herself, insisting this wasn't planned, Steffi cuts her off with a venomous, "You're going to destroy both of them, just like always." A line that lands like a slap, leaving Hope shaken and viewers buzzing about the reignition of the Hope-Steffi rivalry. Ridge, too, finds himself pulled into the middle, defending Thomas when Brooke storms into his office demanding he rein his son in, and the tension between Ridge and Brooke reaches a boiling point, reigniting their endless cycle of blame and mistrust, a subplot that fans know always bleeds into boardroom battles and family divides. Bill Spencer, ever the protective father, makes his own move when Liam confides in him about Hope's pregnancy and his doubts, setting the stage for Bill to confront Hope in his own blunt, unapologetic way, warning her that if she's playing games with Liam's life, if she's keeping secrets, he won't stand by silently, and that he'll go to war for his son. Words that rattle Hope because she knows Bill has the power and ruthlessness to make good on that threat. Meanwhile, Finn watches from the sidelines as his wife Steffi grows more entangled in the mess, her focus shifting away from their marriage and toward protecting her brother. And though Finn tries to be supportive, he privately admits to her later that he doesn't trust Thomas, that if the baby turns out to be his, it could undo all the progress Thomas has made. And though Steffi snaps at him for doubting her brother, the seeds of marital tension are sown. By the end of the Thursday, October 2nd episode, Hope is left standing alone in the design studio, staring at her reflection in the mirror, her hands subconsciously resting on her stomach, her eyes filled with tears, whispering to herself that she doesn't know how to tell them the truth. Words that echo back from earlier but now carry deeper meaning, because fans realize this isn't just about confirming who the father is, it's about a secret that could shatter everything, perhaps about the timeline of conception, perhaps about a moment she shared with Thomas she never admitted, perhaps about doubts she's been carrying alone. And as the screen fades to black, the cliffhanger sets up a storm of speculation. Will Hope reveal the father's identity before the truth comes out on its own? Will Liam forgive her if it's Thomas's child? Will Thomas spiral back into obsession if he believes the baby is his? And how will Brooke and Ridge, Steffi and Finn, Bill and Wyatt, all play into the unfolding drama? What makes this leaked October 2nd update so compelling is not just the pregnancy itself, but the intricate web of consequences it sets into motion. Family feuds reigniting, marriages tested, loyalties questioned, and at the center of it all, Hope Logan, a woman torn between two men, two families, and two futures. forced to navigate a storm that promises to leave no one unscathed. And it's this blend of intimate emotion, explosive confrontation, and long-term fallout that guarantees The Bold and the Beautiful will have fans glued to their screens for weeks, months, maybe even years to come, debating every detail, dissecting every line, and waiting for the moment the truth finally explodes. And as if all of this weren't enough, the leaked update hints at one final gut-wrenching twist that could redefine everything once again. Hope, left alone in her bedroom later that night, pulls out not just the folded pregnancy results but a second envelope, one that she had tucked away for days, one that contains the results of an early ultrasound that quietly suggests the conception date may line up with a night nobody even knows about, a night where emotions, vulnerability, and blurred lines left her in Thomas's arms, a night she has buried deep within her conscience. And as she clutches both envelopes to her chest, shaking and crying, whispering apologies to her unborn child for the mess it will be born into, fans are left with the most haunting image of all. Hope Logan, the eternal dreamer, the eternal fighter, now drowning in the weight of secrets, torn between telling the truth and protecting the fragile web of lives around her, and the knowledge that no matter what she chooses, hearts will be broken, families will be destroyed, and nothing in Los Angeles will ever be the same again.